Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. So this is a 4 Loki war video, and we'll get to that, but I just wanted to show one really quick fight from our previous war. And spoiler alert, it is a death. I just wanted to talk about it. I didn't have time to make this war video, but it was a unique fight, one that, again, had some twists and turns, and so I just wanted to review it before we moved on. And just talk about the mistakes I made and try to get better from them. So the goal here is to push to SP3, so I want to convert 9 light energy, so I should have converted there with a reparry, and then so I noticed that I pushed myself to 10 dark energy, so I was a little bit late on the retaliation and I lost some health because I got parried. Throw off this SP3 to dump the power, and you'll see that it does a lot of damage. It would have done so much more though if I was able to play the rotation properly and get in more than that. I think we had 11 dark energy at the time. So now, so my cat attacked me during this fight, and again, that's not an excuse. It's my fault for leaving the door open. But I end up kind of just in a situation where I'm trying to fight off the cat, trying to fight off Mojo in the corner. He's basically at 3 bars of power. I just need him to throw an SP2, so I'm trying to just play this as carefully as possible. I'll eventually finally get him to throw it, but I've just lost so much health and block damage. And so now I need to land some kind of intercept here soon. Again, I push him to SP2, and that's not great. So now I'm dexing in the corner, trying to decide what I'm going to do. I get knocked down. The dex part of the special. I'm like, okay, I need to land an intercept. I do the light attack to get him to dash in. Evade counter. Obviously not looking great right now, but I'm like, okay, this should do a decent amount of damage. He's going to be low. We're going to be low. And now we just have to find a way to get this fight done. So I go in here and again, just Mystic Dispersion in this fight combined with the distracted play. I just made too many mistakes, and here I should have probably just gone for the finish with SP2 right after this, even without, but I was too worried about it. I was too worried that I wasn't going to get it done, and here he gets the Fury from the special attack, which again, bad RNG, but we lose. So I just wanted to look at that fight. Maybe we'll review it live on stream and take a closer look at it. But next up, let's get into the 4 Loki fights. Huge war between us and the #1 at the time. We're going into this void fight that we've taken before. Again, the game plan is very straightforward, but you have to execute it. So parry heavy, then I need to get another parry, so I get a reparry there. So I'm a little behind already. Throw the light. Now I'm going to go for the medium, straight into SP2, and we're going to finish kind of right as it switches to poison. But we're going to get a poison on us at least, and now we're going to start taking some damage. I need to counter with this SP2, finish off the fight before I tick myself to death, and there it is. So, good first fight, clean, executed the plan that I wanted to, and we're moving on now to this Havok. So, I've seen this fight go wrong. I have some friends who've taken it. But the basic premise is that you just have to land your reparries, not get cornered, and the one way you die pretty much is eating a heavy while he has some of his plasmas on you, because then you're going to start taking a lot of damage over time. And the goal is to throw SP2 as soon as it switches to poison. So I wanted to talk here a little bit as we watch this fight about a mastery that I've really been falling in love with, which is Petrify combined with Pacify. So I'm running 3 out of 3 Petrify and 3 out of 3 Pacify. What that means is that if I get into a situation where I do need to hit him, I'm getting cornered in the incinerate phase, if I parry, there's going to be a decently reduced chance in this fight of getting that incinerate on me, so I can hit him if I really do need to. It doesn't come into play too much in this fight, but it's going to come into play pretty seriously later in the war, so we'll talk about that. But you'll see here, I'm getting to the SP2 now in poison, land a little intercept, throw this off, get a good chunk of damage in. Again, looking really good so far. We're executing the game plan. And we're going in, and just going to keep trying to push him. Just survive till the next poison phase, get hits in where we can to build our power then, and throw off an SP2 to win the fight. We're not running power back boost here because we don't want to miss out on damage when we get back to a special 1. He gets that invulnerability, or indestructible buff. Boof. Nice. Boof. Anyway, but my Warlock is Sig 200, and we're getting decent damage ticks actually just from parrying him and doing that power drain, but I don't think he threw a special that entire fight, so really great game plan. Again, just executed well, and that was my goal for this war. I mean, it was a really important war, and I just wanted to execute. So here I paused the recording, or I started the recording right at the start of the fight because I just kind of forgot to start it. But the goal here again is to use Magneto and to just take advantage of that Pacify and Petrify mastery that I talked about. So when he's stunned, in addition to magnetism, maxed Pacify is reducing by another 30%. The math doesn't work completely additively, but he has very low ability accuracy when we parry, and so he's basically never going to trigger his personal armor when we hit him stunned, and he's basically never going to trigger his True Strike if we have magnetism as well. So we never had to deal with True Strike in this fight. We never had to deal really with an Unstoppable. I think he may get one. And those SP2s hit really, really hard. We're just watching the timer. I see it here. I'm like, I'm not going to counter in. I'm just going to parry. Keep it moving. Where this really comes into play is this next fight. We're up against CGR, PWF CGR. Shout out to you, PWF. It was fun taking this fight. But in duels, I discovered that magnetism can turn off the judgment that gives him the little personal armor, but it does not turn off the armor. And then what can happen is, on every single hit, you have a chance to apply an armor up. So this is actually a tricky placement. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but if you take this with a champion like Magneto or White Magneto here that has that ability accuracy reduction, you can actually end up screwing yourself because somehow it bugs out his armor judgment and he starts stacking armors. You can actually have him have 2 armors at once. He can trigger it on every hit. So again, this is where Pacify really comes into play, and what we're going to do is just parry and hit him when he's stunned only. I did a lot of duels and kind of kept track of the percentages and the odds and felt really good about this game plan. Talked to the officers about it. Shout out to Char for, again, we walked through this fight a couple times, and you'll see I'm basically just hitting him when stunned. I get pretty comfortable with it from the duels, and so I do end up throwing some heavies because I just know like he's not going to trigger the armor here. The chance is so small, and I do it because I'd rather have a little bit of damage that I get from that. Sorry, I'd rather have the damage from the prowess than just play it with like lights only. But here we throw off a big SP2, get a decent amount of power back. There, he wasn't stunned, and he does get the 1 Unstoppable, I think, of the fight. But you'll see here just White Magneto, magnetism, super strong combined with Pacify, huge special 2s, like honestly really, really good damage. Really fell in love with him this war, and then we ended up having like 5 extra pre-fights to give on Boss Island, so all of Boss Island was pre-fighted up and ready to go, and here's the outcome of the war, guys. I mean, shout out to all the officers who were involved in the planning, shout out to every member of the team who executed. I mean, 150 fights, 0 deaths is something that I have not been a part of yet in this game, so it was really fun to be a part of. And again, shout out to our opponents over at 4Loki. They performed extremely well. 4 deaths is nothing to scoff at, and honestly, shout out to Karate Mike, to Legacy, to Vega, to Enzo, my buddy BMCG, B McG, baby. Just a ton of great guys over there, really good competitors, and they played really well. PWF, I already mentioned as well. Just shout out to all you guys. Shout out to Lizer, always doing really cool and innovative things with war planning, and just a great team to compete against. It's a lot of fun to be competing at this level, and it feels really good to get on track with a good performance and just do my job and be a part of a really good group win. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was a really fun war to be a part of. I'm pretty hyped up today, and I hope we can take that momentum into the next one. As always, if you liked the video, please feel free to leave a like, subscribe for future content, and as always, I will catch you in the next one. Later, guys.